Start over here. I want another shot at one from last night. If I live to be 100, I'll say my secret was the cigarettes. Will he live to be 100? Well, what have I got to lose? Sure, I'll take that bet. Friends are dropping like flying over yonder, friends. I'm here for you. And if we're talking about dying, oh, I may garner my love. Till then, I do. Well, I think it's getting colder. It's hard to say anymore. Either I am getting older, or the world is off to war. Friends are dropping like flying over And if we're talking about dying, oh, I'm a goner, my love. Till then, I do. Long story short but sweet, what falls in the forest lands in the street. Bug out, baby, come rest your sweet head beneath the stars for a blanket, gravel for a bed. Down by the water, I'll be writing it all down. Notes from the slaughter, lines from the sound, friends dropping like flying over yonder, friends. I'm here for you. And if we're talking about dying, oh, I'm a goner, my love. Till then, I do. I do. I do, I do, I do. I'm always nervous when I'm over there because I can't see the chats, and I just, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking there's just muted signs flying up and down the Discord channel. You're muted, you're muted, I can't hear you, what? Oh, cool. Carl says those whole other tracks on All Access are bam. Nice, right? Oh, just grab my beard there. I even trimmed my beard last night thinking it would help. But boy, I just yanked it. I feel the hair now on my lips. Yeah, stay tuned for many more of the whole other tracks. I can't believe it's taken me this long to devote a section in All Access to the whole other. And there's all kinds of stuff on hard drives down here from Lex and I's dynamic electronic duo. I'm so excited that we're making a record, and I'm going to be talking about that more later tonight, but I also want everyone to know that I'm not going to abandon the daily practice is not going to become something completely different, even though we are going to be making a record, and we are making a record. It's begun, and I just want to later in the show, maybe after the time runs out, I don't know, but I want to hip you guys to the workflow that I'm going to be engaging with in terms of making this record. But it's happening. It's going to be done here in a few weeks. We're going to have a record on Spotify. Yeah, we're making a record. It's pretty exciting. Oh, I know. It's exciting stuff. Oh. Jonah thinks the record should start like this. Before you were born, you had it all the love and riches in the world. Before you were born, you'd fly along the wind, and then you were born. Now you want it all back again. Before you were born, you sang in tune, sat still as a stone and ran rings around the moon. As quick as lightning above a riverbed. And then you were born, now you want it all back again. Before you were born, baby, you was free, and now you're chained to happiness and misery. Before you were born, you were without sin, and then you were born. Now you want it all back again. Before you were born, you had no fears. The sun was your smile, and the rain was your tears. And nothing grew without the rain. Your smile had no end. And then you were born. Now you want it all back again. And then you were born. Now you want it all back again. One of the things I love about that we're making a record is how many of the things we've been talking about for the last couple of months are going to really come into focus. Because as we're getting like that song to be on the record, what's the ending? What is the arrangement? Is it okay? All right, we're losing that last verse. Is that okay? Some of you might know and some of you might not. There is a verse that I didn't just sing on the original record. There's that whole, but I'll tell you this, I'm glad you were born. I drink another to you as I light my cigarette. I feel like for this version of the song, it's better without it in its purity, but we can have these conversations. All these little things, they're going to have to be decided upon. And the neat thing is, I'll talk about it as we go. I got so much I want to say. I'm very excited, but I'll try not to ramble too much. Oh, the living room. Oh, good job, Richard. You got it on there. Did that work from the DMs, or did you go somewhere else to do it? All right. So, all right, the living room will. It's on the contenders list for the record, but I think I'm going to leave all piano considerations until the end because exactly what sound we're going to use, we want it to match and fit with the stuff that. So we have a lot to figure out how to record a piano version of a song for the record. But Swaby says, so very exciting. Should make for a cozy and productive winter in Nathan's land. Well, amen, but it's not going to take that long. We're not pulling in parts from people. We're not getting deep into a mix. It's one microphone, and this is pretty exciting. Just let me tease you for a second. I said last night I've been exploring, going around the house looking for the sweet spot where it sounds pretty cool. And I found a place last night that sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool to me. It's right there. So I'm going to resist this temptation. I'm not going to dive right in. But once we have our sound and are going for takes and stuff, I'm not against doing some of that live and trying to get the record take during the show. But it's right here. This also could be for some sessions in Discord, not live streaming, but just in Discord hangs. The Discord's going to be a really fun place during the making of this record. I have a good feeling about it. And I'm going to be dropping every take, every day. I'll put whatever I think either merits discussion or what I think might be the take. I'm going to put it all on the Discord in the For the Record text channel. It'll all be there. Some of the versions will end up being outtakes or, redone. You guys are free to grab them and do whatever you want with it. So it's going to, for nerds, it's going to be a gold mine. That's what I think. Oh, but the reason I hesitated on your statement there, Swaby, is I think this record's going to be done here in a few weeks. At the most. Hey, it might be done by the end of the week. I don't know. Let's see what kind of a roll we get onto once we find the sound in the pocket. We've been practicing hard. It might be about to pay off. Not anymore. The change I'm seeking nowadays, it's bound to happen slow. I might be getting wiser, might just be getting old. It's out of my control. Sitting in my body, looking at the ducks. Might be something going on. I might be out of luck. The sun is shining bright. I'm sitting in the cold. It's out of my control. Oh, and again. Honey, I'm home. Let's put a record on. Sip some wine beneath the moon and dance around the living room. listen through the door screen, tightening our belts, off to get some ice cream. Gotta eat it before it melts, bound to be surprised by something along the road. It's out of my control. It's out of my control. Out of my control. Honey, I'm home. Let's put a record on. Sip some wine beneath the moon and dance around the living room. Maybe that's, the only piano song on the record. It could be a novelty. I'm thinking, 10 songs. Shoot for 10. Working title at the moment is For the Record. That's just a working title. For a minute last night it was called Leaving Song, which is cool. It's a nice little reference, but it was so interesting how once I was like, oh, Leaving Song, that's good. Then the title of the record was shaping the song choice. I was like, oh yeah, that song would be good. And then Jonah, when I woke up today, I saw he had posted in the For the Record text channel on Discord his 10 songs. And I looked at his list of 10 songs. I was like, that is a cool record. I want that. I want that record. And I was like, but the first thing I thought of was that record is not called Leaving Song. So you got to be careful what you commit to. It's chicken or the egg. Chicken or the freaking egg, man. Is it midnight yet in Ferguson? These days get colder hotter. Is it midnight yet in Ferguson? These days get hotter when the evening comes, and I just might get to see the morning sun if I don't wind up in room 101. And we'll never know what it might have been like. Oh man, I changed this key the other night, and I already did the hard work of transposing, but I didn't realize when I started singing it just now that was a few days ago, and I probably forgot all that. We'll never know what it might have been like. We'll disagree on what came first, like the chicken and the egg, chicken and the egg in the diner all night, egg in the diner all night. Gonna have to get better 'cause it's gonna get worse. Chicken or the friggin' egg, man. Now, what record is that exactly? If we go with that title, what album would that be? We'd be digging deep. Let me try that one more time before I really try to perform it. We'll never know what it might have been like, and we'll disagree on what. We'll disagree on what came first, like the chicken and the egg in the diner all night. Gonna have to get better 'cause it's gonna get worse. Is it midnight yet in Ferguson? These days get hotter when the evening comes, and I just might get to see the morning sun if I don't wind up in room 101. And we'll never know what it might have been like. We'll disagree on like the chicken and the egg in the diner all night. Gonna have to get better, cause it's gonna get worse. Is it midnight yet in Ferguson? Men with guns, those who loot. This is our fight, yeah, we're the peaceful ones. Our hands are up, don't shoot. And we'll never know what it might have been like, and we'll disagree on what came first, like the chicken and the egg in the diner all night. Gonna have to get better, cause it's gonna get worse. Came first, like the chicken and the egg in the diner all night. Gonna have to get better, cause we'll never know what it might have been like, and we'll disagree on what came first, like the chicken and the egg in the diner all night. Gonna have to get better, cause it's gonna get worse. Is it midnight yet in Ferguson? 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 Oh, that was a hard transpose. It's like a tongue twister in the original key that I wrote it in. Hey Birds, it's good to see you in here. When you say the last time you heard that song it had a sadder tone, was that the living room or Midnight in Ferguson? Just curious. Good to see you, Josh. Next, I just sang that song so you guys could put that art in the window. You got this. All right, you got it. I'm gonna try to not look at the words. Is hoping they can reach us. You know, life's finest teachers, the ones to show us how to do what must be done. And I don't mean abstractly, I mean matter-of-factly, the nuts and bolts of flying to the sun. But who can show us where to look? How will we know what must be done? I know it's written in a million books, but we can't read every one. Some say God has a plan for every woman, child, and man. Of all the things to think that might be true. And I don't mean abstractly, I mean matter-of-factly. I can't play piano, can you? But who can show us what it meant when first a string tied to a bow? How do we find our instrument? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Sort of prayer to get up and go out there, to know your feet can find a sacred path. And I don't mean abstractly, I mean matter-of-factly. Once you're on it, you ain't ever looking back. I have no idea how this works, from where we get our gifts, but each of us, I am sure, something nobody else is. You got this. 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 Oh, I just wanted to keep on going for about an hour there. Great request. Thank you very much. All right, next up was Cowboy Anarchy. For the most part, I won't be doing the harmonica parts live during the takes, which maybe is a mistake. It's arguable. But I'm going to be doing all of the tracks to a click. I will be using Mikey as the drummer in my ear. It's all going to be to a click. And I'll leave the space for the harmonica. And then I'll add in overdub the harmonica. I did that. Trying out this new setup with the microphone right here last night. Got a pretty cool sound, I gotta say. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah. It's beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. But I did my test track last night was Wild Irish Rose. I did a version of that here, and already it's so funny. Practice. But I would not be able to perform the version that I recorded last night live on the show right now, because I did the harmonica separately and I'm not good enough yet. I would have to practice it a bunch of times to be able to perform it for you live. I just think that's interesting. Oh, thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Well, you know, I was thinking last night, I mean, we've all heard these stories that like, oh yeah, the Beatles did 80 takes or 100 and some takes of that song and to get it right. And I realize that sort of applies to the daily practice, what we're talking about, because there's so many of these songs I say I just wish I could play it 100 times, and with 300 and some songs that we're trying to get the definitive version on, it can become super daunting. But when I think about 10, I realized I can just sit in here all night and play the song 100 times. And I thought about doing just a marathon live stream just based on that old myth or those old stories of bands that did 100 takes of a song, and then that was the version to get the right version. I was thinking about what an interesting live stream that would be, to just do a song 100 times or 50 times just to see what happens. Just to see what it might be profound. Maybe we get to like take 75 and be like, holy moly, I've never played like this in my life. I don't know what would happen. Or my voice would just be in tatters. I'd be tired. I'd be doing. I imagine there's going to be this lull in the middle if we did it, and maybe it would rise up into some new paradigm I've never even stepped foot in. I don't know. Or it might just go straight down. I'm intrigued by that idea. All right, here you go. Somebody asked for this one. I called up my mother the other day, said, are you sitting down? Been kicking ideas around. Are you ready for this? I've been reading Emma Goldman, been hanging out with puppets and circus clowns. I'm beginning to think I'm an anarchist. She said I wouldn't want to live in your world, and right then I knew that can't be true. What can a poor boy do? So I called up the president, it was the present tense, said, are you sitting down? Been kicking ideas around. Now are you ready for this? I've been thinking about Gandhi, about Martin Luther King, just read the Sermon on the Mount. I'm beginning to think I'm a pacifist. He said I wouldn't want to live in your world, and right then I knew that can't be true. What can a poor boy do? Whoa. So I called up the preacher, said I'm glad that I could reach you. Are you sitting down? Been kicking ideas around. Now are you ready for this? I'm thinking every great story I ever read is God's glory, and it can't be bound. Reading William Blake, for heaven's sake, that's where I found Jesus. He said I wouldn't want to live in your world, and right then I knew that can't be true. What can a poor boy do? They said I wouldn't want to live in your world, and right then I knew that can't be true. What can a poor boy do? Whew. Yeah, I'll have to do at least a few takes on that one. That one is one of the contenders for the record. For the record. All right. Let's see what's next. Far or Fire. Alrighty. I think I've been doing that one with my partial capo. For anybody, if you don't know these exist, it's a discovery of mine, and it is a revelation. Capos that are designed to only capo some of the strings. See, that little divot leaves the low one ringing, and this is so short it only capos 3 of the strings. So the high 2 are still ringing and the low one's still ringing. Should've packed a razor, should've packed a tent. Woke up in a blazer and sitting cement, and I was clawing for light, I was gasping for air. For a moment I thought I might just die right there. I remembered in my collar I placed a paper clip. I could pick these handcuffs and give these guys the slip. Over the mountain I could sneak away and live to fight another day. Have guitar, will travel, got a car filled with gasoline. We could go far or fire, and all points in between. Somebody thanked me, somebody spanked me. Looked down and I was standing on a crybaby's blankie, and I've been walking through woods, I've been mining for coal, sorta like my shoes with the dirt on their soles. Have guitar, will travel, got a car filled with gasoline. We could go far or fire, and all points in between. Between death and birth, in between the lines between the moon and middle earth, with my head in the clouds I was dragging my feet. I knew I couldn't stay, but I didn't want to leave. Have guitar, will travel, got a car filled with gasoline. We could go far or fire, and all points in between. We could go far or fire, and all points in between. Man, these are some fun requests, I'll tell you what. That'll be a fun one to try to get a good version of. For the Paperboy. All right. Have I ever tried playing some harmonica to that? I guess I could give it a shot. So far, every address I've gotten so far for the NM Songs Wooden Nickels, they are on their way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's over a couple hundred of these now floating around the world, all over the place. I don't care what country you're in. I will send you some of these. If you send me your physical address, I will send you some NM Songs 2024 issue wooden nickels with a QR code on the back that will take you to Nathan's Land, that will suck you into our world. So send me your address and I will send you some nickels. They are already on their way. Yeah, and for those that have already gotten some, just let me know when you need to re-up. Just text me or DM me or email me, and we need a cool phrase, a cool little handshake signal. We're the made of paper boy, always in the rain. And with brilliant running ink, your shoes were always stained. You played the cuckoo bird, you thought to hide the pain. But we all hung on every word, and in a way you kept us sane. Whatever is clever, man, you left me far behind. Like the tortoise and the hare, I've been taking my time, but now you're already there, across the finish line, probably singing one to Jesus, trying to score some wine. Now no one will know inside you had a star, and I hope I go wherever you are. The experience of innocence, the screaming blades of grass, the temptations of madness in your songs you'd always ask, is this my only choice? With that sky-crashing voice as your fingers led on, there was more to the song. You said we wouldn't understand, even when we did, even if we were a little wiser, and you were just a little kid. Still you were right when you said the things you said. The best is unknowable, the mystery is dead. Now no one will know inside you had a star, and I hope I go wherever you are. For you in Eureka, California, wondering if you'd hopped a bus or just curled up somewhere. And you lied right where I found you. You said hours didn't pass by. You said you didn't disappear. You said I didn't need to cry. Then you apologized beneath the Portland dusk. You pulled me aside and you asked me for my trust. And I looked you in the eye, and I looked at you with love. That was the last time we spoke, man. Things were looking up. Now no one will know inside you had a star, and I hope I go I go. Wherever you are. Nice request. And for those that want to talk about it, I'm curious to your thoughts if you noticed it. But Kethra asked me to try. Maybe she didn't want to be named in that, but as an experiment, she was just curious and wanted to hear it without the "come out, come out." If I was to record it, I might add that in as an overdub with making it sound like it was somebody else instead of the lead vocal doing it. But I was just very curious to see if that works or how much I would miss it. Come out, come out. I feel like there's some fun talking going on that I'm missing. Let's see here. Are we there yet? Definitely noticed. Did you miss it? I like how, for those that already know the song, you can do it in your head, and you probably did. So it's probably there in a fun way. So I was asked earlier today on Discord whether or not songs that were on other records were fair game as contenders for the record that we're making right now, which is just going to be like a 10-song solo acoustic record. And there's no steadfast rule. I'd like to avoid it if it's already represented on all the services, if it's on Spotify and Apple and all that kind of stuff, and it's a really good version, I'd rather not even bother. If there's one that's like full band production and the solo version has a unique quality that is maybe better or at least enough different, then that makes it that could work. Like, who knows? This song maybe on ukulele could be a contender. Maybe there's a charm to it that isn't on the other one. A song like In the Basement, I don't know. It'd be hard to top the Dear Puppeteer version. I don't even know if I want to try. I might twist my proverbial psychic ankle trying to do certain things. But I'm up. You know, I'm a big fan of all the possibilities here. If you know anything about me, you know that's true. Just don't want to get lost in the weeds. We already do have about 30 contenders for a 10-song record, so you have to make a strong case. But boy, that is testimony I would hear out. You should do this song, and here's why. I'm all ears. On Monday morning, I knew I had to mow my lawn, but I didn't. Wait, Brenda says, it seems like the job should be to pare down the list you already have. I would completely agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that I've had a couple of suggestions just today that weren't on the initial list that I'm like, oh yeah. Like Getaway Cruise, I hadn't even thought of it. The Lottery wasn't on there, and both of those deserve to be on the contenders list this early in the game. It wasn't right to leave them out, and there's probably a couple more that I've missed. And you just never know. On any given Sunday, on any given daily practice, there might pop out a version of a song that just has a unique charm, like, oh, that version. The tape loves certain songs. But when I say the tape, I'm using a colloquialism. Of course, it's all digital these days, but I remember the Amusement used to have this song called Lonely Rider in the early days. And in the early days, we were making demos all over the place, going into this studio or that studio, and this person would have us in there. And we were just in a lot of different recording environments. And there was something about Lonely Rider, no matter where we were, what the session was, that one always jumped out of the speakers with it, just because it loved the tape, the recording, the tape loved that song. They loved the space of it. They loved there's just something about the space of the song that made it super easy to record. It was very interesting. So I feel like, a lot of what we're going to be going through for the next few weeks as I record these tracks and put them on Discord and we're listening to them, some of them are just going to jump out and it'll just be like, yes. And I feel like the question we should be seeking to ask ourselves with this record and with these recordings and these takes, the question that we should be seeking to ask is, why does it sound so good? It should be mysterious. If it's just me, if it just sounds like me doing a pretty good version of one of my songs, that's not what we're looking for. We want to be like, why does it sound so good? And sometimes the reason it sounds so good is because of the song itself, the space that's in it. I would imagine the living room would be sort of a version of that kind of thing. I bet the bullseye is pretty big on that one, even though I'm not a piano player. There's just something about the space of it. So certain songs as I go will just be easier. The bullseye will be bigger. It won't be so hard to be like, oh, what should we do? It'll all just make sense. And I'm looking for those. I'm looking for those tracks, and we won't know a lot of it until we start recording them, and I start hearing it coming back at me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, there it is. I'm hoping that they all have pretty big bullseyes. And be reporting back daily. And you should be able to hear it with your own two big, gigantic, beautiful ears. Are we there yet? Are we still here? Old as time just disappeared. I've been thinking on this for years. Are we there yet? Or are we still here? On Monday morning I knew I had to mow my lawn, but I didn't wanna. Then Tuesday'd come and gone, and all the way through Thursday it rained. And then on Friday, well, the weekend had come. So are we there yet? Or are we still here? Old as time just disappeared. I've been thinking on this for years. Are we there yet? Or are we still here? So the next Monday morning I rose bright and early, all ready to mow. I pulled the cord and Lord, lo and behold, the grass was too tall, the mower wouldn't go. Oh, are we there yet? Or are we still here? Old as time just disappeared. I've been thinking on this for years. Are we there yet? Or are we still here? So I just been letting that little line of mine go. I sit on the porch, a rocking a chair, laughing along as it grows, up over the house, up into the air. Oh, are we there yet? Are we still here? Old as time just disappeared. I've been thinking on this for years. Are we there yet? Or are we still here? Are we there yet? Or are we still here? Old as time just disappeared. I've been thinking on this for years. Are we there yet? Or are we Are we there yet? Are we still here? Huh? Whenever I sing that song, I still see like a Darren Nay animated or Josh Clark animation for it. Such an easy song to animate. It's spelled out. Not many. Quana, there's a couple of my songs that are like children's books. You could just draw pictures of the words themselves and voila. Oh, thank you, Swaby. When my time comes, I want the world to know. Though I love my life, I do not hate to go. No, no, no. No, no, no. It's always been clear to me, I smile to think I'm here but for a little while, yeah, yeah. And I won't be on my knees pleading for more. And I don't know what lies waiting on the other shore. I got a feeling I'm gonna like it there. Like it or not, I will not have a care. No, no, no. No, no, no. So when I go, no, do not shed a tear. I've been on my way for all my years, yeah, 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 yeah. And I won't be on my knees pleading for more. And I don't know what lies waiting on the other shore. I got a feeling I'm gonna like it there. Like it or not, I will not have a care. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Man. Way to go, Subconscious. I forgot all about that song. That's a fun one. Okay, we are out of time. I see it. We need a leaving song. I'm going to rush right into the leaving song because then after that, the show will be over. But we're going to do a little bit of a special extended version because I want to at least document the workflow that I'm looking at for the record. And for anybody that wants to stick around and check it out, you're invited to stay with me. But I'm going to put it out there for posterity's sake. Oh, Josh, I just called up the request list because I thought I saw you. Oh, you didn't do the %R for requests, but I like your request. I'm glad I accidentally saw it because I feel like that could be a fun leaving song on ukulele. I don't think I've ever played it on this ukulele. But if I was confident I knew the words, I would have just segued. All right, here you go. Kazoo Keeper. Oh, I could have just stayed with that. Ukulicious, I like it. Ukulele. I was wondering why you put that in there. Ukulele winter. All right, this is a silly way to end, but hey, it's Tuesday. Ain't nothing wrong with a little silliness on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday, or just never on a Monday. Never silly on a Monday. Come on, I was raised right. I still remember some of it. Misunderstanding and Mr. Wrong were drunk one night and they sang a song. She went high and he went low and he looked to her. Now how does it go? People looked but they could not see. What they saw was a certain poetry peculiar to their particular means and colored by such strange routines. Everybody making the sun shine, and sense out of nothing at all. Laughing at the beat in their off time, following the bouncing ball. Misunderstanding and Mr. Wrong had the whole room singing along. Every woman, child, and man, words they would not, could not understand. Well, they went home early, but they stayed up late. So the bird and the worm had to wait, and the clock had to wait on its selfish chimes. Midstream children froze in nursery rhymes. Everybody making the sunshine, and sense out of nothing at all. Laughing at the beat in their off time, following the bouncing ball. Understanding and Mr. Wrong were never here, so they're never gone. He said to her, I would understand if you would not, could not take my hand. But she said yes in a million ways and wiped that look right off his face. And he jumped for joy and he threw his hat and he stepped off the world he forgot was flat. Everybody making the sunshine, and sense out of nothing at all. Laughing at the beat in their off time, following the bouncing ball. fun request. Love you, dude. Yes. Perfect. All right. As far as the official show goes, that's it. So thank you all for joining me, for bending your ear my direction, for egging me on and all that jazz. Be silly, be honest, and always trust your cape. Bye. All right. Whew. That was a fun show. What a great session. I'm not gonna get distracted by the record. I'm not gonna let it waylay the intentions of the daily practice, the nightly daily practice, where I am to sit here with my songs and serve my songs and use the candle to help me in that service, and all the things, all the intentions of the daily practice. I want to be sure to stay true to them. I have a long ways to go in terms of that. But the record, I feel like, is deeply entwined in the practice, and a lot of it is, let's pick some of the fruits of our labor here. We've been working hard. It's time to enjoy some of the fruits, and they're in there. And I do feel like it's going to be fun to microcosm this and focus on 10 of the tunes, and they're going to get more practice than the rest. So I'll do take after take if I have to, especially if it feels like it's going in the right direction. So what I really want to do now is share with you guys, and share basically with posterity too, and history, my future self, when I look back on these and remember all the times. At the moment, this is the mic I'm going to be using. I tried it in different areas of the house, and then I tried it here last night because I thought, God, wouldn't it be cool if it worked on the set? Because I'm not against going live for some tracking other than the daily practice, or doing it in the Discord, or who knows. If there's a night when one of the contenders I do in the daily practice, and they're like, oh my God, you got it, man. You got it. Track that right now. I could turn this thing on its side, stop time, and we could try to get a take with the magic mic. But that is going into Logic. And I have it ready to show you, because I thought we might be here. Now, some may call me crazy, but here is the workflow I've decided upon. This is a template session that I will be using for all the tracks. The template might evolve, but at the moment, it has 3 tracks. One is the basic mic for the basic performance of the tune. Then I have a harmonica track for the harmonica overdub, so I'll be leaving a space in the track for the harmonica. And then down here, now this is where people might get a little skeptical, and I might need to change how I'm doing this, but this is foot stomps. I'm going to not tap my foot during the actual takes of the song, but I feel like the foot tapping is an integral, important part of the, and I could be wrong about this. We'll do it on a song-by-song basis. But right now I'm just using foot stomps from the Logic library. I might record my own foot taps. I feel like for the most part, 9 out of 10 times when I tap my foot most effectively in here, it's almost always quarter notes. When I do it is more important than what I do, but I never do anything interesting. I'm never getting that interesting. It's just this emphasis moment where it swells up from a pause in the playing or something like that. So it's almost always quarter notes. So I just have these in here. Those are Logic stock foot stomps. The thing I don't like about them is it sounds like more than one foot, maybe. But we can cross that bridge when we come to it. So here's how I'm going to do it. What I'm going to do is I'll type in the BPMs. I'll find the beats per minute that I think the song should be. And now this is stuff that you guys can let me know in Discord. Like, I think you should speed it up a little bit. I think you should slow it down a little bit. I'm open to all these suggestions, and I will try them, and I'll post those. I'll post examples in the Discord and so forth as we go along. There's going to be a flood of information coming through on that For the Record Discord channel. But here's what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to geek out for a second because this is sort of exciting to me. Let me think of how to describe it. There's a thing in Logic called comping, where if you do multiple takes, here, I'll show you just an example right here. So, if I do multiple takes, see how it creates this folder? See how each of those takes, it's only a bar long, so it's a little bit weird. But right there, I just recorded that many takes of 1 bar long. It's actually even not quite, yeah, I guess it is. So it's a little bit weird. Long. So it's a little bit weird. But then what you can do, and this is, you do this for solos or stuff like that, is you go through and I could be like, all right, I want this word from this take, and I want this word from this take, and I want this word from this take. It's super easy to what they call comp, making a compilation of those takes into one simply by dragging this. I just made a comp. Hates this, weird. Hates this, weird. Hates this, weird. Hates this, weird. Okay, so that's called a comp. Now, I can do this with the songs that I'm about to record. I could do multiple takes of the song. I could do it 80 times and then go through and pick out, all right, I want the first verse from this take. I want that chorus from this take. This is a really good harmonica section, and comp it together like that. Now, in the past, before I had my revelation last night, I would have just done that. I would have been like, okay, Before You Were Born is this long. I would have done 1 take of it, and it would go, it would be way longer than that. And then I would go back, and as long as I started at the exact same place, and I use the exact same arrangement, which I intend to do. Every take is going to be the same number of bars. If there's 2 bars after the chorus before I start singing again, it always will be. And I want to stay true to that, whatever the arrangement is. I might not know that going in. It might be on take 8 where I realize, like, oh, all the previous versions are wrong because I want to add an extra bar there or whatever. But as long as I start at the same time, so normally I would have done it once and then gone back and recorded it again and made sure 1, 2, 3, 4, I start right at the exact same place. But this time, I think what I'm going to do, instead of doing a folder like this, and for some people it's going to be like, what the hell is he talking about? But hopefully this makes some sense. So the click is going to be going, and I'm just going to, oops. And I'm just going to hit record, and I'll hear that clicking in my ears. And then I'll just do the song. As soon as I start playing, I can't hear that faint click anymore, but it'll be in my headphones, so I'll be able to hear it just fine. So I'll sing the whole song, but what I'm going to do this time, instead of going back and creating a folder under that, I'm just going to play the song a bunch of times straight across in a linear fashion. And this is a revelation to me because I get all in my head about that opening, the opening bars or whatever, and wanting to get all that right. if I do it just in a linear fashion, I don't have to worry about where the start is on each one. So I can just keep going on this one track straight across in a line, not making a folder, and do it again. But then if I mess up the beginning, I don't have to stop and go back and do it again and count in. I can just keep going. Now, if I mess up somewhere in the middle of the song, I will have to start all the way over again. I don't think there's any way to escape that. But the cool thing that I realize for anybody that does home recording and stuff that I think is pretty neat is what I can then do, because I'm playing to a click, it will still be technically on the grid. So I can come up here after the fact, after I've been singing it for a while, and create new tracks. And I can bring this take, I could say, okay, right there's the start of that one, and it ends there. And I can bring it down here and drag it to where it lines up with the start of the other another take. And I can do as many of those as I want. And then I can click like this, right click, and say, pack take folder. Now it's what I showed you at the beginning. It is now a take folder where I could say, okay, I want the chorus from this one, and because they're on the grid, it'll all line up as long as I stick to the same arrangement. I just made a take folder. So that's my revelation that I'm very excited about, is recording them all linearly, so I don't have to worry about the beginnings, and I can restart at any point in time, take a breath without having to start over and stop the recording and start it. I can just let it roll and just keep doing take after take. And after I feel like I've done a couple that I really love, I can stop, create a take folder, and then move on from there. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's pretty exciting stuff from this end. But I really want to document this, and I want people that are, especially that are going to engage in the conversations on Discord and stuff, to know how I'm doing it, what's going on. So as we discuss different versions of the song, like, and you'll know, like, oh, I can redo the harmonica because the harmonica is a separate thing. And you can comment on what you think the foot stomps sound like. And you just basically can visualize what I'm up to as I put these in. Here, I'll open the Wild Irish Rose I did last night. And this was like proof of concept. I wasn't going for, don't save. I wasn't going for the take or anything. I was just trying to find my workflow, see how I wanted to do it. But I actually ended up having some fun with it, so who knows. The click track changes everything, and it's so healthy, and I definitely could not do this without the click. I'm going to need the click for sure. It just, for one thing, the click really enables me to do is to leave this space without being self-conscious about it. Because in my ear, it's going click, click, click. So like if I hit a strum, it doesn't feel like it's just sitting there in this amorphous space. It feels like it's sitting in a very intentional grid. And I know there's just something. And I feel like even to the layman that doesn't know the difference between a track, if I recorded Wild Irish Rose without the click, you might not be able to explain why you like the one with the click a lot better, but I'm pretty sure you definitely would, because there would be all these inconsistencies with the rhythm that you might not intellectually observe, but you feel it in your heart, because we pulse. We are a pulsating thing, and when there's a disturbance in the pulse, it's a psychic assault that I subject you guys to on a nightly basis. I'm so impressed that you're still standing. Fortitude. I see fortitude in you. But the click is imperative. forgetting what I'm coming for. Sometimes I think I've lost my mind. In the store. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I just twice put my screen to sleep. And apparently it lost all audio signal and everything when I did it. So maybe sharing that audio isn't gonna... It was... It looked like the audio was being sent to OBS at first, but now I don't see that meter moving, so I won't even bother. But the click definitely enabled me to just hit those open strums. Standing in the middle of the 5 and dime, forgetting what I'm coming for. Sometimes I wasn't even... It's so hard without a click to have the confidence to even leave that kind of space. But I really feel like being able to leave that kind of space is going to make the record so much cooler to listen to. And I'm very excited. Oh, you could hear it when I just played it right there. Like, I know you can hear it through the microphones, but can you hear this? Yeah, I didn't think you'd be able to hear that. That's all right. I posted this track in said Discord text channel. The text channel is called For the Record. All right. Well, I guess, yeah, that was just coming through the mics. As soon as I put the screen to sleep, this meter stopped working. But yeah, that's the workflow. That's the whole idea. And any thoughts on it, any ways I can improve upon it, anything I'm not thinking about, or any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to do a song now. Does anybody have any preferences? And just so y'all know, like for the Discord hangers, I'll try to let you guys know in the Discord when I am actively down here tracking. There might be a way I can send the audio to the disco or something on Discord if anybody wants to be a fly on the wall while I'm actually tracking. I'm about to do that now. I was thinking of Before You Were Born, but any of them are going to be super fun for me. Just being in there with the click and then hearing them back with a couple of nice effects or whatever, it's all very exciting and satisfying. So yeah, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to track one of the contenders. I'll choose one from your list, Jonah. Maybe Before You Were Born would be a good place to start. There is a version of Before You Were Born from Single Wide on all the things, on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. So that takes it down a little bit in terms of importance, but at the same time, it's a contender. It's definitely a contender. I don't know. I guess I don't have to figure this out on the air. I can let y'all go and get to work. I hear that whip cracking. Thank you so much. I will be back tomorrow night for the daily practice, midnight sharp. You can set your watch to it. I guarantee I'll be here singing my songs to you. Again, be silly, be honest, always trust your cape. See you in Discord. Bye.